Hi, thank you for tuning in to What in the World is Going On. Today we're going to discuss the detriment of gambling during a recession. Gambling, also known as betting or gaming, is the wagering of something of value on a random event with the intent of winning something else of value, where instances of strategies are discounted. Gambling thus requires three elements to be presented: consideration, risk, and a prize. The outcome of the wager is often immediate, such as a single roll of dice, a spin of a roulette wheel, or a horse crossing the finish line. Longer time frames are also common, allowing wagers on the outcome of a future sports contest or even an entire sports season. Gambling dates back at least to the Paleolithic period, before written history. In Mesopotamia, the earliest six-sided dice dated to about 3000 BC. However, they were based on astrolalia, dating back thousands of years earlier. In China, gambling houses were widespread in the first millennia BC, and betting on five United States for centuries. It is suppressed by law in many areas for almost as long. By the early 20th century, gambling was almost uniformly outlawed throughout the United States and thus became a largely illegal activity, helping to spur the growth of the mafia and other criminal organizations. The late 20th century saw a softening in attitude toward gambling and a relaxation of laws against it. What is the problem with gambling, you might ask? Problem gambling is gambling behavior that is damaging to a person or their family, often disrupting their daily life and careers. Anyone who gambles can be at risk for developing a gambling problem. Gambling disorder is a recognized mental health diagnosis. Problem gambling has multiple symptoms. Gamblers often play a game to try to win back the money they have lost, and some gamble to relieve feelings of helplessness and anxiety. A 2020 study of 32 countries found that the greater the gambling activity is in a given country, the more volatile that country's stock market prices are. Legalizing online sports betting decrease household savings, decrease investments with positive expected value, and increase financial distress. Gamblers may exhibit several cognitive and motivational biases that distort the perceived odds of events and that influence their preferences. When games are selected through a choice process, when people indicate which gamble they prefer from a set of games, people tend to bet on the outcome that is more likely to occur. Bettors tend to bet on favorites in athletic competitions and accept even bets on favorites when offered more favorable bets on the less likely outcome. Optimism, desirability, and bias. Gamblers also exhibit optimism, overestimating the likelihood that desired events will occur. Fans of NFL underdog teams will prefer to bet on their teams at even odds than on the favorite, whether the bet is $5 or $50. The gambler's fallacy, also known as the Monte Carlo fallacy or the fallacy of the maturity of chances, is the belief that if an event has occurred less frequently than expected, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, it can also trigger emotional and physical symptoms. College students are more likely to develop unhealthy gambling habits than other populations. The University of Buffalo meta-analysts found that 1 in 10 college students is a pathological gambler. In the United States, 6.2% are addicted to gambling. This means up to 20 million Americans have gambling problems or are at risk. Some warning signs of the gambling problems are thinking about gambling all the time, feeling the need to bet more money and more often, returning to win your money back, or chasing losses, feeling restless or irritable and trying to stop or cut down, feeling like you can't control yourself, gambling despite negative consequences. In extreme cases, problem gambling can cause bankruptcy, legal problems, losing your job, home, or your family, and thinking about suicide. Problem gambling isn't just a financial problem. No, problem gambling is an emotional problem that has financial and other consequences. Even if the person pays off their gambling debts, they can still have other problems caused by gambling. The only way to overcome problem gambling is to change harmful gambling habits, and social support and encouragement are part of that change. The National Council for Problem Gamblers estimate that the annual national social cost of problem gambling is $14 billion. These costs include gambling-related criminal justice and healthcare spending, as well as job loss, bankruptcy, and other consequences. The estimate was based on the formula developed by research from the 1999 National Gambling Impact Study Commission, an update to count for inflation in the current United States adult population as of December 2023. Gambling is good for the U.S. economy. It provides stable jobs for nearly 2 million Americans, generating billions of dollars in tax revenue. The gaming industry supports a total economic impact of $261.4 billion in business sales, 2 million jobs, and $74 billion in labor income. Financial issues are often the first outward sign of a gambling problem. Gambling becomes uncontrollable. The problem gamblers will spend even more money, attempting and usually failing to win back their losses. Here are some of the financial consequences that may occur. Overdue bills, maxed out credit cards, denial of credit, always short of money despite adequate income, cannot provide for basic means of food, clothing, shelter. They rely on borrowing money from friends, family, or co-workers. They develop a pattern of extremely high-risk investing or frequent trading. Money is pulled from home equity, savings, investments, or retirement accounts. Their household and personal items are sold for cash. They frequently get multiple payday loans or cash advances. Their properties are repossessed. Their home is in foreclosure. Many problem gamblers believe that money is both the cost of and the solution to their problems. So they continue to gamble despite the loss and believe they can fix all their problems with just one more big win. Sadly, there can never be a big enough win to solve the problem of addiction because it is an emotional illness, not a financial one. For this reason, the real solution is for the gambler to deal with their addiction, not just the money problems it creates. Treatment and support resources can help the gambler stop gambling. And with abstinence from gambling, the stress from financial pressure will begin to be relieved. Long-term solutions will require hard work, debt repayment, and careful planning. But finances of a problem gambler and their family can recover over time. Gambling can impact people in the economy during a recession or depression in several ways, including increased gambling. Some people may return to gambling as a way to escape the challenges of a recession or to solve their financial problem. Gambling can also be appealing during difficult economic times. They do not gamble to win, they gamble so that they can gamble the following day. They are in severe danger of losing everything, family, friends, and becoming homeless in America. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe.